Hi, it's Brenda with Luke's. The other day we did a video on how to sew a button on with a Janome. I thought for the Viking users, why not? And of course, I kind of wanted to play with the new Sapphire 85. So let's take a look and see how we do this. Of course, this Sapphire comes up to our home screen. And one of the nice things about the Sapphire is that it has some built-in techniques. So I go down here to the technique and look right here, sew on button. Now, what's nice is it sets the machine up for me. It dropped the feed dogs. You probably heard a little click. That's what it was doing. If I want instructions, I can actually page through instructions on how to do that technique, which again is a nice feature on the Sapphire. So we're going to look at several different ways to sew on a button. The first one is probably the easiest, most direct, and I'm going to simply take the button. I'm going to put it under the ankle, and I'm going to lower my needle, and then I'm going to lower my ankle. I'm going to hand wheel it to make sure that I've got the right width on the button, and I do. So then I'm just going to press the go button, and we're done. Now, I've got my tails. I can take a needle, put that through if I want, but my button is on there very securely. So let's go to the next method. Now, if I need to put a button on, let's say a coat or a jacket, I need more of a thread stem. So I'm going to use my universal tool. There are two sides to it. For a thinner jacket, coat, shirt, sweatshirt, whatever, or the thicker one for a bigger jacket. We're going to use the thin one. So now I'm going to take and I am going to position my multi-needle tool here. I'm going to put my button on, and again, holding it in place, hand wheeling the needle down to make sure that I've got it in the right position, and I do. Drop the ankle down to hold it in place. All right, raise my foot, and you're gonna see a difference here. When I take the multi-needle out, I've got a lot more space here, okay? It's a looser button, looser because the garment was thicker, all right? So number one, number two, and of course, there's a third method, and that is using the button foot. So Viking has a button foot, and I'm going to take this little lever, push it forward. That allows me to take the foot to snap it into position. All right, so I have my button foot on the Viking, and we're going to do a couple things. Put our garment underneath here. And I have a button positioning tool that I can slide my button right under here. And there are a couple of options. So I've got it into position. So I can go ahead and sew the button on, and we're going to do that in a second. Or I have this little lever that comes forward, and as you can see, what that does when I do my stitches is that would make the stitches longer, giving me that lift for the button if I'm doing a heavier coat or jacket. So we're just going to do a straight up buttonhole. Again, I always hand wheel because we don't want to crash the needle. Perfect. I'm going to give it a little bit of go. Raise our foot, pull out our button, and we are in business. So 3 different ways. Straight up using the ankle, using the multi-tool, easy enough, or I can use the button foot from Viking, and again, that gives me that option to sew over that little lever, which gives me more space for my button on a heavier garment. All right, sounds good. See you next time.